my friends, it's Deb from Bowl Me Over. Welcome back to my kitchen. I have a treat for you today. No, it's not this cake right here, but that is a real treat too. We'll talk about that another day. I am going to make the best salad you've ever had. I know that sounds like a big stretch, but I kid you not, this is the tastiest, freshest salad I have ever made. So I think you're going to love it as much as we do. So let me walk you through it really quick. It takes only a handful of ingredients, and probably the only thing you'll have to go out and buy might be a pear and some pralines. You can skip those or just use regular pecans. That works too. Anyway, so we're going to make a pear vinaigrette today. It's super simple, and the salad that goes along with it. Let me walk you through the ingredients really quick. We're going to use a shallot. We're going to use a clove of garlic, some grated parmesan, that pear I was talking about, salt and pepper, honey, olive oil, some apple cider vinegar, and lettuce for the salad. That's all we're going to need. Oh, excuse me, pralines. We talked about that already, but some pralines too. Super simple ingredients. Best salad you've ever had in your life. I think you're going to really love it. So let me walk you through how easy it is to make. Okay, the first thing I thought we'd do, just to kind of get it out of the way, is go ahead and chop the lettuce. And I've already cleaned this, but we're just going to, and yes, you can tear the lettuce. That works fine. But you know me, I'm always going for the shortcut. And so I'm just going to chop it up in bite-sized pieces. And you can use a pretty bowl. You can put this on a plate. I like to actually plate salads a lot of the time, but I knew if I plated it here, you wouldn't be able to see it as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that really quick. So there's our greens. And this salad also uses those pralines or candied pecans that I was talking about. So I'm just going to give my knife a quick run through that and kind of think of the pecans as a crouton. You know, it's just going to give a little crunch to the salad. And so we want to keep them fairly small, but certainly not crushed or anything. Okay. It's just about perfect. And where's it at? Where's my Parmesan cheese? Here it is. I like that I've made this so many times. It's like, I got this. There's not a lot of instruction involved for me anymore. It's about 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, a couple tablespoons. And I'm going to sprinkle this over top. And that is how simple the salad is. Go ahead and pull those off there. Put that right on top. Okay. I'm going to put my salad right there for now. So now it's time to make the vinaigrette. Now, if you've never done that before, it's really not that hard. It's pretty simple. For this recipe, you'll need a microplane. And this is what they look like. You might have one in your utensil drawer that you've never used before, but just in case, that's what it looks like. And if you don't have one, don't go out and buy it. If you have a box grater, use this side of the box grater. It's not quite as small of a grate, but it'll work just fine. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is grate our garlic clove. And what I always do is I put my garlic down. I give it a pop with my heel of my hand on top of the knife. The knife is setting directly on top of the garlic clove. So just give it a pop. And then I want to peel off the skin on the garlic. And if just that little pop usually makes it pretty easy to peel off. So just like that. Okay. And I'm going to set my microplane over my bowl. And truthfully, I'm doing it in a bowl today to make it easier for you to see. But when I do this myself, and I'm not filming, I usually use like a Tupperware container. I just put it over a Tupperware container because that way when you shake it up, it's super easy to get the oil to emulsify. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Okay, so that was my clove of garlic. I'm going to set that aside because we're going to use that in a minute anyway. And next up is a shallot. A shallot is a mild form of onion. It's you want to use a whole shallot. So it's really kind of cool in this recipe. It's almost like the shallot gets pickled within the salad dressing. So I want to cut this in a super fine dice, and that's easy enough. Just gonna give it a few things about halfway through, and then just carefully cut this in a dice that's going to go right into the bowl. And it, like I said, it kind of pickles them really quick. And, you know, don't worry, I have all of the instructions below in the notes. So don't think, oh gosh, I didn't quite catch that. And I'm going to run my knife, even though we've chopped it pretty fine. I'm just going to run my knife through it to make sure it's a nice fine mince. Okay. Here we go. My little scraper thing. And put that into my bowl. So that's where we are so far. We've minced the garlic and we've diced the shallot. Let's see. The next thing we need is some salt and pepper. And we're going to use a half a teaspoon of salt. And a quarter teaspoon of pepper. Perfect. And our pear. The pear is in the salad. And you know, my dog's going to be really naughty here in just a second. I'm going to be right back. You know, that worked out well because I took a minute and not only corrected my pup, I cleaned up my workspace just a smidge to make it a little easier for you to see everything too. So that was a win-win. Okay, so the next thing we need in here, we have the grated garlic. We have 1 shallot, salt and pepper. And the next thing we're going to put in is 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. If you didn't have apple cider vinegar, you could use like champagne vinegar would be good. A lighter vinegar as opposed to not using the, you know, like the white vinegar wouldn't be terrible, but it wouldn't be my first choice. Just a heads up on that. We're going to add a tablespoon of honey. And I'm going to eyeball it. And then 1/4 cup of olive oil. Oh, wait, I'm going to hold off on that. Okay. I'm going to mince my pear. So the dressing, there's a little sweetness from the honey, but it also gets a lot of its sweetness from the pear. And for this recipe, you can use a bosc pear, you can use a Bartlett pear, but you want it to be a good, solid, crunchy pear because you don't want it to, as they age, they kind of get more and more sweet. And just that crunchiness is really what you're looking for, that crunchy and the flavor there. So, and we're going to grate about half the pear, maybe not quite. This is a great big one. And it's kind of all nicely coming together anyway right there. A little bit more. Okay, that looks about right. I'm just going to use my finger and all that goodness that was kind of stuck in the microplane, making sure that makes it in there too. Okay. Last thing for our salad dressing is going to be olive oil. And we're going to need about a quarter cup of olive oil. And you can eyeball this, you can measure it, whatever you're comfortable with. And let me grab my whisk. Hang on a quick sec here. If this will work. This is what I have handy. This is what we're going to work. And as you mix in the olive oil, you want to whisk it the entire time. And that's going to help emulsify. And you can see I'm just like barely drizzling it in, emulsify the dressing. And that's just a fancy way of saying it's all going to stick together that way. So that was difficult, right? Like when I do this for myself, if I'm, obviously not trying to show you, that's what I mean. So I'll just put all this in like a screw top, an old mason jar or an old pickle jar. Tupperware works fine too. Put all the ingredients inside, just give it a really firm shake, and that'll take care of it. Okay, the dressing's ready. The last thing we need to do for this wonderful salad is go ahead and slice up a pear. And we're just going to use the other half of this pear. And just nice and thin slices. And if you were doing it for company, you can leave the slices like larger. It looks so pretty. But I thought this would be a good recipe to share today as you're getting your Easter menu. If you're doing the Easter thing, as you're getting your Easter menu together, this would be amazing alongside your ham or, whatever it is that you're serving. So I don't know, just a thought. I was like, usually I post a casserole every Thursday. And today I was like, I don't know. I need to get this recipe out there. I've made this for a couple of people. And my mom said, that is the best salad I've ever had in my life. Now, moms are a little prejudiced, right? And so my girlfriend made this too. And her words were, oh my gosh, where has this pear vinaigrette been all my life? My girlfriend Kim. So when I say this is amazing, I really am not just saying it. Everybody that's tried it has really, really enjoyed this recipe. Okay. It's hard to believe that something so simple could taste so good. But there we go. Okay, so I'm just piling all of this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful sliced fruit on top of my salad. And you want to do the fruit right before you go to serve it because it would brown if it was out there too long. So just prep everything else. Wait to slice the last half of the pear right before you serve it, and you'll be set. Let's see if I have a little spoon here. I do. When you're making a salad, one thing I always try to remember is you can always add more salad dressing, but you can't take it away. So I try to just add it by spoonfuls. A lot of people are real fancy. They add it around the sides or whatever. And let's just start with that. And let's give it a toss and see how it looks. I can tell you though, this is so amazing. I make this about once a week now. It's good. I mean, dare I say it, it's healthy. It's just so crunchy and fresh. So I don't care if you're making a casserole, if you have hamburgers on the grill, the salmon, whatever it is you're making, this will probably go with it very nicely. So, but let's give it a taste test, okay? And I know you're going to know what I'm going to say because I've already said it 10 times, but crunchy and fresh, easy to make, Oh my gosh, it's so good. My mouth is watering. Gonna do my best. Mm. Mm. That's so good. The the tang from the apple cider just that quickly has like pickled those little shallots. The dressing is like tangy and fresh at the same time, like feeling really rich. I don't know, it's kind of odd. Odd in that I can't explain it because it's so good. Mm. Another thing I really enjoy about this is the crispness of the pears and the crunch from the little pecans. Um, just that little bit of sweetness. And if you can't find pralines or don't want to go to the expense, they're about $6 for a can that size. You can always skip them. You could actually, most of the time when I make this, I don't put the pralines in it, but I just think it's so pretty for presentation. You can make your own candied walnuts. Walnuts would be good too, or pecans without even candying them. So, don't not make it because you don't have it. Make it definitely. Mm. Again, I just think that would be so good alongside a ham at Easter, alongside smoked stuff on the grill, whatever it is you're cooking. A yummy salad always adds to that experience. So anyway, I just wanted to pop in really quick today, say, hey, hope you enjoy the salad. Put a note down. Let me know if you've tried it, okay? I'd love to hear from you. And let me know if there's a special recipe you're looking for. Give me a shout. You can find me, Deborah, at bowl-me-over.com. It's Debra. Of course, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, all the places. Always appreciate a like and follow. If you have any questions, give me a shout. I'll see you next time. Oh, you know what? One more thing real quick. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. The next video will be coming out on Sunday. So if you like and subscribe, you'll be the first to know when it comes out. That's all I have for you today. Just this quick little video. Hope your day's well, and we'll talk to you soon.